He is a cooperative technologist, and he is so enthusiastic on using cooperatives as the way to manage almost everything democratically. He thinks economic democracy is the economic system that will bring prosperity for all and not just for few. Let me pass the stage to Sana to share his experience in this area. Thank you, Sana.
Hello, thank you, Dr. Michelle, for the opportunity and everyone here. Hello, my name is Sanal Bika, and I will be sharing about what my friends and I are making called Gapatma. But there may be a bit of disclaimer, we are still new, and I think we haven't got to the level that the others already shared, from Pranati, Melanie, and Esther. We still really new, and we learned a lot from what they already shared about how to directly impact people's life and livelihood, especially. So, but hopefully this can be of use for everyone here. Okay, so I will share to you all about Gapatma. So this is the organization that my friends and I are building now. So we are a collectively owned media cooperative and a community of learners that focus on economic democracy, especially in Indonesia. So some of our works are some original content. So we create articles or videos or posts in social media about what is economic democracy and why is it important. We create discussions with all of the practitioners in Indonesia, even though there are not much, but we try to pick the best of them to share their learnings about economic democracy, worker cooperatives, and so on and so forth. We record those discussion and put it in YouTube, so a lot of people can reopen the discussion, relearn about it, not just when we are having the discussion online live. Yeah, this is our current situation now. We have quite a good amount of followers, not yet reaching 1,000, but still good. We think about 160 and around 200 subscriber on YouTube. And we have a community on Discord for having routine discussion in the chat format. So why are we building this Gapatma, this media cooperative? Because in Indonesia itself, we have in our constitution, we have a paragraph that actually put economic democracy in the constitution itself. So it's not an abstract, it's really there. So and even our founding fathers, his name was Muhammad Hatta, he said economic democracy is a really important aspect of our lives, because political democracy is not enough. There will be no true equality and fraternity if there is no economic democracy. But the reality is economic democracy is something that's really strange for a lot of Indonesians, especially the youths there. So this is just one of the impact. So this is a graph from Faisal Basri, one of our economists. He highlights that maybe you can all see the red one is the amount of wealth from our top 10% wealthiest people in Indonesia, and then the blue one is the amount of percentage of wealth that the top 10% has in Indonesia. So almost half of Indonesia's wealth is owned by our top 10%. So our population is now around 250, I think. So from only 2.5 million people own half of our wealth. So I think that's something wrong. And this is just one of the effect of not understanding and not implementing economic democracy in our daily lives. So it affecting the wealth inequality, income inequality. The pandemic itself shows a lot of the effect, exaggerates a lot of the effects that this inequality have. Even corruption stems from there, because a lot of our people are not wealthy enough, so they can be easily bribed and easily swayed around in elections. So that's why we think there is a need for this. So we try to bridge the gap between what we know possible and what we know already planned by our founding fathers versus what's already implemented in Indonesia in our current lives. Next, I want to highlight the collectively owned media cooperative part. So our ownership structure is a multi-stakeholder cooperative. I put pre-coop there because we haven't formalized. I mean, we are in the process of creating our bylaws, but we haven't formalized it in the regulatory side. But this is our current plan to create ownership between consumers, producers, and workers. We think multi-stakeholder format is the best because we can accommodate different perspective from the consumers, from the producers, and from the workers. We have some programs. So the first one is obviously creating new contents, recommending good contents from other content providers so that people know what is economic democracy, why is it important, and what's how to reach that point. And then we have online library, and then a network of likely-minded people who wants to build a better economy for all. This is our newest project and nearest one. We create a Festival of Economic Democracy 2021, which will be held around July in our cooperative day in Indonesia around 12th of July. From what we understood, this is the first one in Indonesia, even though, like what I explained before, economic democracy is something that already put by our founding fathers, but in daily life, if you ask an Indonesian, do you know what's economic democracy? I think you will get confusion interface. Yeah, we are still a pre-co-op, so we are not yet formalized, but me and the founders and all of the members, current members now, we are agree that this needs to be a multi-stakeholder co-op as an example for the others too. Because from what we understood also, there are no multi-stakeholder co-op in Indonesia that exists now. So our democracy practices is at least in small things. So we have discussions routinely, and on those discussions we invite all of the audience to give their question, and we use a tool called Slido. This Slido tool can, if you have no question, you can vote on what are the questions that you think, oh, this is a good question. You put a vote on that, you like that, and we will try to start the question from the top one. So this is I always say to the audience, we always say to the audience that this is a small step, but this is a learning for the democratic principles as we try to have one people one vote, so that we try to implement it in our daily operations. And this is also our first circle, our founders. So we try to have routine discussion. So in the process of making the bylaw, of making the programs, we always try to have inputs from all, not just one or two people. Even though, mainly me and the initial founders are the one that push forwards, but we always try to have feedbacks from everyone. So how to make this sustainable? We have 4 main revenue sources: monthly subscription, merchandising, online and offline class, and event organizing. For the monthly subscription, we want to be accessible for all. So we base our price from the lowest provincial minimum wage in Indonesia. Currently, it's on Yogyakarta, around 1,700,000. So we put 1% from there, so around 17,500 rupiah. So the thinking behind that is we want to be accessible for all. And then we create some merchandise because we are a media, so we create some clothes. We partnered with other co-ops that create clothes and merchandise. And then we try to create online and offline class. This is not our class, but this is our inspiration. So platform cooperatives create classes for people to know how to build cooperatives. And we do event organizing, like what I said previously, Festival of Economic Democracy. We try to be sustainable, so we make this not a free event, but we don't want to be too dependent on donors, so we try to be sustainable. And then regarding SDGs, our main focus there are four. First one is no poverty. Second, decent work and economic growth. Number 10, reduce inequalities. Yeah, I mean, for us, the main goal is the number 10, the reduce inequalities. But we think we need the number 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. Because in Indonesia, like what I said, in a political democracy is not enough. We already have political democracy, but from what we see, the people's voice is only heard on near elections. Even then, after the people are chosen, yeah, they have a lot of promise, but they are not really implementing those promise. So we think economic democracy is a prerequisite for a true democracy, because people can think for themselves, people can manage a lot of their daily lives democratically, not just on the political side, also on the economical side. So that's why I think number 16, yeah, because I think corruption and bribery also stems from, yeah, the not so strong economical democracy that we have now. And then, yeah, maybe we want to tell you a bit about what's next from us. So our main mission, we think, is to help people understand how to build a fairer and more democratic economy for all. And interestingly, yeah, maybe from a lot of cases, COVID makes our process slower or our sales less. But in our case, COVID, I think, is actually a trigger and a catalyst for people to search for a better economy, because they see the flaws of our current system. The gap is exaggerated with COVID. Yeah, this is the example. A lot of people come to us after they see our videos, they join our discussion, they want to create cooperative business. They are inspired and they are eager to create something different. So Gapatma is only the first step for us. The next one, we want to build how to build a co-op class. And after, because the way we think about it is we want to create an ecosystem, a virtuous cycle. So first, we want to let people know how to build a better economy. After they are nudged upon, or they are eager, they know what's good, they will be, the Indonesian term is gatal, yeah, eager to build, to do it in practice, yeah, not only in theory. So we want to build how to build a co-op class, and then we want to build a co-op incubator to help them to create true business. And then, yeah, most of the time when they ask us, most of the time they need help in capital. So we want to create a co-op development fund or a credit union that fund new cooperatives. And then this will create more co-op to inspire and learn from. And those co-op will be researched by, or will be published by Gapatma again, because that's new content for us. So this will create a new virtuous cycle by Gapatma to push people to create new co-op. Well, after people are eager to create new co-op, we will create the class, we will create the incubator, we will provide the capital to start, and yeah, this will go round and round and so forth. I think that's all from me. So if you guys want to know more, please follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you. Back to Dr. Misha.
Thank you very much, Senna. Yeah, we have very wonderful presentations. James, can you help to put me and all the 4 presenters on the spotlight so that the floor can ask questions and our speakers are willing and also feel happy to have the discussion with all of us?